Let's talk. Guys, our experience to get to the point that we are now, I am currently soon to be in today's 15 weeks pregnant. And there is a lot of things that I see that has motivated me to share a little bit about my journey and what happened to us, just because I feel like it could help other people. A lot of people don't know, but this month would have been my due month. At 11 weeks pregnant, me and Mustafa found out we were going to our appointment to hear the heartbeat of the baby for the first time, and there was no heartbeat to be found. We got to hear the heartbeat, or I did, in the emergency room at 8 weeks. My pregnancy, I had spotting, and I got checked, and the OBGYN had checked me and said that there was nothing to worry about because it was just old period, that sometimes it happens. It was light brown, it wasn't red. As we were seated there waiting for our appointment to go in to hear the heartbeat, we were so excited. You can only imagine. We weren't searching, but we weren't preventing. I never personally been on birth control, just a personal choice. I've had people close to me not have the greatest experience, and I never wanted to be on it myself. But we were a little less careful, and so there was the potential of that. At the time, Mustafa felt like he wanted a baby for quite a while. He's an only child. I felt like I could have waited a little longer, but everything happened, and we were grateful for it. The reveal was absolutely amazing because I got to find out by myself. He was away for a day and prepare for him. But if you've ever been pregnant, once you get pregnant, you feel like you're so much more intuitive with your body. I've always been. I've practiced a lot of meditation and being mindful and pay attention to how I feel and how my body feels. When we were waiting to go inside, I went to the bathroom, and for the first time, it was actually red. And I just sat back down, and I didn't want to disappoint him, but I knew. I knew in my heart right away. I was 11 weeks, and she checked above, and then she said she had to do a sonogram or check inside, and I just knew. My eyes got watery. Mustafa was confused, but I knew in my heart. That day was really hard, I'm not gonna lie. And when we came home, I got to see a video from a friend that I remembered that had experienced something similar. And so that video helped me, and it motivated me to make this video for you guys now. I never had anybody close to me, super close to me, pass. So I learned a lot about grieving and how it comes in waves. One of the hardest days for me this year was definitely Mother's Day. But that video really helped me. And I know there's a lot of people who suffer in silence, and there's a lot of women going through this. And I wanted to make this video to let you know that you can have your rainbow baby, and that your current situation doesn't always have to be your final destination. I want to give you guys a few tips of what happened after that, in hopes that it can inspire you, give you faith, give you hope, and allow you to dream again. It's not easy. The first 11 weeks of this pregnancy until now, there's a lot of thoughts that creep in. There's a lot of fear that comes with a pregnancy after a miscarriage. But knowing that I'm not alone, knowing that I had shared with a couple of people that were there for me through that process, and just learning to redirect every thought that comes to my head that may not be positive, has honestly been a challenge, but it's something that I do every day. And I just wanted to share a few tips with you all in hopes that it can help you. When we got back from that appointment, me and Mustafa got to grieve. As a woman, you feel horrible. I'm not saying that as a man you don't feel horrible, but as a woman you start to feel like it's your fault. All I could think about was how excited and happy his mom and aunt were, and how I didn't want to give him that news. I didn't want to disappoint people. I know that that's not how people take it, especially people that love you, but this is my feelings. I'm sharing my experience. So you feel like a disappointment as a woman. I felt like I was disappointed in Mustafa, disappointed in our family members that had known and were so excited. It didn't last long, thank God, that feeling, because everybody was so caring, but it definitely feels like that. You start to think, what did I do wrong? What happened? And it's more common than we know. It's 1 out of 4 pregnancy that can end in a miscarriage. And one book that I read as a recommendation, this book is very spiritual, and you can read it with an open mind. Take what you want. If it doesn't suit you, you can just let it go. But I was recommended Spirit Babies, and my biggest lesson from that book, and the one thing that helped me, was knowing that my baby didn't die, because that's how you feel, like your baby died. And souls don't die, is my belief. But it just wasn't his timing at times, right? Like it wasn't the timing for it, for many reasons. The book explains how it could be many reasons. It could be the parents are not ready. It could be the soul itself. What it's going to come here to do is going to be big, and they're not ready. There's different meditations, and just so many scenarios that helped me reading it to know that, that soul didn't die. I don't regret telling the few people that I did tell a little earlier. I told them around 10 weeks, even though it was hard to tell them, and that we were no longer carrying the baby. At least I wasn't alone, and I had people checking in on me, taking care of me, because even though you don't have your baby, your body goes through postpartum. So your hormones and everything, your body literally goes through postpartum. I chose to do it the natural way. I really didn't want to go to a Planned Parenthood. I know that if it didn't come out at a certain point, I had to go because it's not safe for me, but it did within a few days of finding out. Anybody that experienced that, just know, I have a friend who's a doula who shared with me to not remember birth that way. That is way easier, that the baby helps you. So to not memorize that memory or not make that memory as this is birth. I wrote a letter with our sonogram. I let out all my emotions and my feelings. I wrote everything I wanted to let the soul know. I saw 2 different doctors after, one in Dominican Republic and one here. The one in Dominican Republic, he has been a OBGYN for my mom, for my aunt, for my grandma for a long time. And his words of encouragement for everybody, he said, you're a healthy person, which I'm so grateful for. You're fertile, your womb is healthy, your eggs are healthy. The most important thing that you need to remember to conceive again is to not live in fear, to not live in worry, because that can stop the conception more than anything else. And I know that that's not the case for everybody. I'm very grateful that I am healthy, but I know people deal with things differently from that saying. But if you're somebody who is trying to conceive, know that the way you feel and your health and the way you feel in general, your emotions play a big role on it. How stressed or not stressed you are plays a big role on it. I know it's easier said than done, but things that you could do is maybe start taking care of yourself, taking care of what you eat, working out, getting acupuncture, getting massages, just listening, meditating to things that relax you and make you feel better, because that is part, even though we don't think, that is part of being able to conceive. Healing, I also got raspberry leaf tea that I would drink every day. I got, for those who post miscarriage, I ate a lot of rich in nutrients food, because if you go the natural way, you do lose a lot of blood. So I was drinking a lot of like natural juices that had beets and fresh juices and soup and lentils. I also have this item from Organic Olivia, which is basically food for your womb. I would have those drops as well. And I did one of those Dominican bottles, I'll post here as well, to cleanse everything in my womb and to make sure it's a natural bottle that they put together. I'll leave the page as well so that you guys can check them out and get anything that you may need or want from their page. That was after post miscarriage. To trust, to surrender. I know it's not easy. It's easier said. I know that there are scenarios out there that they don't look too good, but there is a plan for everything. Sometimes we don't know why certain things happen to us, and now more than ever, I can say I am so grateful for the blessing that's coming on the way, and I send you so much love, so much light, and I hope that this video made you feel like you're not alone and gives you hope to know that your rainbow baby is on the way.